It's the 2K Sports pregame show.
It's Eastern Conference time for the traveling Milwaukee Bucks today. 2K Sports is proud to present NBA basketball. I'm Kevin Harlan with Clark Kellogg and Greg Anthony, and Doris Burke reporting from the sideline. The Magic again playing host, continuing their homestand in this one. Still early in the season, but the front office and coaching staff likes what they are seeing from this team so far. Better winning percentage than last year.
And when I look at Orlando, they've staggered along here early in the season. They're going to be in for a long year if they don't make some real quick progress.
Well, good news, bad news here. I mean, the good news is they have time to make up the ground they've already lost. The bad news is they don't have enough talent to do it.
All right, let's set the floor. Courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. And Milwaukee looking at who they've got. Allen Iverson out there with Wall. Then there's Chamberlain, then it's Malone, and it's James in at the threesome.
Really aggressive play there, taking it to the rack against the big fella.
You know, Greg, aggressiveness is really the only option when you're on the wrong side of the size equation.
Now here's Iverson. They look to him for part of their offensive attack. Right now he averages nearly 12 points a game.
This is why I love his game. You really have to admire his tenacity.
So it's Orlando now. They are coming into this having notched a win against the Knicks in their last game.
And how about the game plan that was constructed for that one? I mean, it was apparent how powerless the D was to stop it.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. I mean, they just didn't have an answer for anything they threw at it.
And finished off by Davis.
And the defense out of position on that possession, which allowed for him to get that offensive board.
Well said. Yes, he did. You're right, Greg. That's a tremendous jam on the putback.
What a great nose for the basketball he has, and such a strong finisher as well. I'll tell you what, you can shake your confidence missing wide open shots like that.
And John Wall, guys, is still one of the most explosive players in the league. His speed makes professional athletes look like they are stuck in mud.
Here is Wall. The Magic getting the bucket. Iverson outside. LeBron left side. 6 on the shot clock. Laid in with a nice touch off the glass. James has got his first basket of the night.
And I tell you what, anytime you get those easy ones, that basket starts to get bigger.
Davis with a screen on Wall. Dumars with it. He's picked up by Wall. And the whistle blows. It's going to be on John Wall. That's his first foul. Jimmy Butler, he's checked in for the Bucks. Here's Dumars. 14 points from him the last game against New York.
And also 3 steals. So he showed some grit and determination on the defensive side. You can't give him that shot. A few open looks are all it takes to get him in the zone.
And so it's Milwaukee now. The Magic getting the bucket. The drive by Iverson. The kick out to Wall. Shot clock at 5. Down low. It's hauled in by the Magic.
This is not the slam dunk contest. You don't get do-over. You got to finish the job.
Yeah, I think everyone knew the Bucks would be much improved last season. But to see the jump into the middle of the playoff picture, I think that took everybody by surprise.
And now the first timeout called here for the Magic. For the Bucks, their improvement, usually you see incremental progress. Even after losing key players, Clark, they shot up the standings.
And part of that, Kevin, was just growing as a team, coming together, and also improving the roster. Another part was that they were better than their record showed 2 years ago. Player development is part of the improvement.
And the basket by Schrempf.
How about the purpose with which he's crashing the backboards right now? Some hard-earned second chance points.
James kicks to Wade. 11 feet away, and it goes out of bounds. A last touch by Wade.
Well, that's inexcusable to throw a pass that far off the mark.
Orlando making some changes. JaVale McGee comes in for Anthony Davis, and it's Jackson in for Derrick Rose. McGee is screen on Iverson. The Magic shooting their first free throws here tonight.
At the line, shooting 2.
First free throw is good. Well, the Magic knew that last season would be one, Greg, for development. A young team like they had needs to grow before they can really compete.
And you touched upon it, Kevin. They really were a young team last season. Third youngest team in the league by the end of the year. How about an average age of just over 24 years old?
Down low, Malone. Orlando grabs the miss. Orlando shooting their third and fourth free throw shots of the night. Free throw good, Gordon. He hits both from the stripe.
There's not a lot you can say that hasn't been said before about his skill at the charity stripe.
Bucks trail by 7. And we're just over 3.5 minutes into the first quarter. The shot's good from LeBron. LeBron's got his second bucket of the night.
And he came off that screen, and the knee just didn't get over the top of it.
Yep, weren't there in time enough to challenge, Greg. And when that's the case, you can mark those up for him.
Jackson, and he gets it to go.
Nice work on the inside. Hard to get that one up and over the big fella.
Well, it's not supposed to be easy down there, and a little artistry on the inside helped him make it happen.
The offense coming free and easy as we wrap. And one of the rising stars in the NBA is Anthony Davis. His offensive game is growing by leaps. Well, I'll tell you, you could be here an awfully long time if we're going to list all the different moves Anthony Davis can hit.
Yeah, the brow definitely has the full toolkit available to him, and I say that affectionately. Tools a lot of guys don't learn to use until much later in their careers, Kevin.
And now the second quarter just getting set to start. And from what we've seen from Orlando, what do you guys see?
It's been about the effort. Love the hustle they've shown here in the first.
Yeah, it's due to their hustle, as you said, Greg, and it's showing up on the scoreboard, too.
McGinnis out there with JaVale McGee. Then it's Joe Dumars. Then there's Jackson, and it's Barry in at the small forward. That's who's out there for Orlando. Here's McGee, and down it goes, jamming that one home.
Kevin, I tell you what, when he gets to the rim like that, he's really hard to stop.
Yeah, he can get up a few notches higher, there's no doubt.
And that's how the game is played on the inside. You can play over the top. You've got a great advantage.
Malone kicks to Wade. Buries the long-range jumper.
Not too much respect shown to him by the defenders.
Magic leading by 3. Jackson passes to Barry. On the wing, Dumars. McGee is screen. Dumars dishes to McGee. No good. The Bucks go the other way with it. This, of course, their first opportunity to play Orlando this season.
And they'll be doing their best to establish superiority over this club, something they failed to do a year ago.
And they know they're the better team and out to prove as much tonight. They split the season series a year ago, but they want to change that up now.
Well, Milwaukee last year became just the 9th team in NBA history to go from Greg being the worst in the league to a playoff team.
Unbelievable what they accomplished. And they had a tough matchup in the first round with the playoff season Bulls, however. Things didn't go well, but they did get some valuable experience from that effort.
I tell you what, he can do a lot more damage to that rim than that when he wants to.
And you know, Clark, with the lead they're enjoying, I'm surprised he didn't put a little something extra on that one.
Me too.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'm glad he didn't, because otherwise we'd probably have a 45-minute delay here and he shattered the backboard.
Timeout called, the Bucks. And as the coaches go to the clipboard to outline their strategy during the timeout, the players getting a chance to rehydrate with some Gatorade. That's key to staying fresh all the way to the final whistle.
And, Kevin, it really is. And every one of these players knows it. They're all making sure to stay hydrated. It's impossible to play your A game if you're not getting enough to drink, especially towards the end of games when the physical toll of a long contest really starts to add up.
Well, as you said, guys, I mean, the Bucks struggled early in their series against the Bulls. But they got the momentum and forced a Game 6, but then were blown out at home to end the series. Ended up losing by 54. That's right, 54. Wow.
Orlando leading by 5. Dumars kicks to Rose. Davis sets a screen. Rose passes to Dumars. Back to Rose. Chamberlain with the block. Butler dishes the wall, and there's the whistle. Fouled hard on the shot. He'll go to the line.
And as you said, the Bucks lost on their home floor. One thing about that series is the Bucks introduced their new logo. They gave away free playoff tickets to anyone that turned in their old red gear. Not a bad deal in my book.
Schrempf, he's checked in for the Magic. Gordon comes in for Dumars. And Milwaukee also making a switch. Iverson's checked in. And he can't hit the second. The Orlando Magic didn't make the playoffs last year for the 3rd consecutive season, Greg. They knew it wasn't a realistic goal for them.
Yeah, and last season wasn't really about making the postseason, Kevin, for this group. Soon that will have to be the goal, as patience will wear thin within that fan base.
50 seconds left in the first half. Butler against Schrempf. Chamberlain a screen. Shot is no good. Great D that time from Davis. Magic leading by 6. Outside Gordon. And there's the call on James. That's his first foul. .30 seconds left in the first half. Pass to Schrempf. Up off the screen. And it's good on the layup.
Just no resistance on the inside. That's their 5th consecutive make in the paint.
And, Greg, those looks they're allowing are almost automatic.
The drive by James. And Davis sends it back. And he's able to get it back. And he gets the bucket. And it's 6 points for LeBron.
Guys, that's just really unstoppable. He poses a ton of matchup problems for whomever he's facing.
Here's Rose. And so we conclude the first half. Orlando out in front, up by 6. Time now for the halftime break, with the third quarter soon to follow, right here on 2K Sports.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hello again, everybody. Ernie Johnson here, joined by Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith. We welcome you to the halftime show on 2K Sports. It was a closely contested first quarter for Orlando. Some nice stretches of basketball from them, and at one point, they pushed the lead up to 7. What did you think, Kenny, about what we saw from the Magic?
Well, one place they had the edge was on the offensive boards. They converted those extra possessions into points. Nothing is...
That does it for halftime, as the game is just about set to get going again. We send you back to Kevin Harlan and crew for the third quarter.
Welcome back, everybody. The start of the second half getting underway. Both teams battling hard through the first half.
Some good numbers for Iverson. He's got 8 points, and he's hit the mark twice from three-point range as well.
And Clark, it's no stretch to say the more points he gives them from beyond the arc, the better off they'll be.
On the court for the Bucks, LeBron James is out there with Moses Malone. Then there's Allen Iverson. Then it's Wall, and it's Chamberlain in at the 5, roaming the paint. Here's Malone. Great tee that time from Davis.
And there was a question of whether or not Derrick Rose would be able to get back to his former self. At times last season, you could see him back in that MVP form.
And 2 shots coming up at the line as he gets fouled on the shot. And with Rose again, he showed flashes last season of his level of play, Clark, before the injury.
Yeah, exactly. And you hate to see any player go down with injuries, especially a talent like Derrick Rose. He still needs to show that he can regain that high level of NBA play for an entire season. I think that's just a matter of time, Kevin.
On the wing, Dumars. The 19-foot shot. That is good. Dumars got the lead up to 8 now for Orlando. Milwaukee has gone 3 of 7 tonight from three-point territory. Rose against Iverson. In the corner, it's James. Chamberlain a screen. Feeds it to Malone. The dish to Iverson. Clock at 6. It's stolen by Rose. Now here's Rose, the fast break opportunity. There's the basket and make it a double-digit lead. And now a 10-point Orlando lead.
Nice pass there to set that bucket up.
And that's 10 of their last 12 points that have come off assists.
Now a timeout called by Milwaukee. This game coming on the heels of their win against the Kings.
And what got them that win was the remarkable success they had from the floor. I mean, just a tremendous shooting performance all the way around.
Hey, you can't expect that kind of shooting to happen all the time on a nightly basis. But when it does, boy, does it feel good and look good.
Passes to McGinnis. He kicks to Rose. Deflects the pass. Out of bounds. Magic ball as Orlando keeps possession.
Well, close to picking that one off.
Still a nice play to make sure that pass didn't reach its target.
Orlando making some changes. Lou Williams is checked in for Dumars, and it's Jackson in for Rose. Outside Jackson, trying to find Davis. He's got it now. Throws down the alley-oop slam.
Phenomenal alley-oop slam right there, guys.
They're taking advantage, Clark, of a team that looks lost out there.
Guys, this one is threatening to get really ugly.
Milwaukee making a switch here. Butler's checked in. Ball's knocked loose and stolen by Iverson. Moving it up. Here's Wade. Hammers it home to polish off the break.
And guys got careless with the ball there, and the turnover leads to the big stuff.
Once he came up right with the steal, he went straight on the attack.
That's exactly the way to do it, too, Kevin. Go hard to the bucket and don't let them set up the defense. With the success they've had rebounding the basketball, they're right where you'd expect them to be, firmly in control of this game.
And no doubt about it, rebounding is an effort stat, folks. They've been more determined than their opponent thus far.
Oh, Maestro, he is so good at making those lead passes, like conducting an orchestra.
Here's McGinnis. Malone with the block. Butler attacking James. And the shot counts. He's fouled, and it's a chance for a three-point play.
When you can make adjustments to the shot in midair and midstream and still knock it down, you know you're flowing.
Here's what Orlando's going with right now. Schrempf comes in for Barry, and Gordon subbed in for Lou Williams. Iverson kicks to Wade. It's stolen by Davis.